It all began on a calm Friday evening. One of those nights, so quiet that you can almost feel something wrong lurking beneath the surface. I was settled on the couch, a half-watched movie flickering across the screen, the only other light coming from my phone resting in my hand. She had stepped out earlier, mentioning a late dinner with coworkers. I didn't press her. After years of marriage, trust had turned into habit. But lately, that trust felt fragile, like a thin layer stretched over cracks ready to split. At exactly 9:14 p.m., my phone vibrated. Her name appeared with a single blunt message. "I'm with Jake tonight." No explanation, no softening words, just that. I stared at it, reading it over and over. Jake, the name that had been appearing more than it should. "He's just a coworker," she'd said before, laughing it off, making it sound harmless. But this message wasn't casual. It wasn't innocent. It was careless, confident, like she expected me to accept it. In that moment, I understood two things. Something was wrong, and she thought she was untouchable. I didn't call. I didn't respond. I leaned back and let my pulse settle instead of racing. Betrayal doesn't always hit like a punch. It often drips slowly, like poison, until it becomes undeniable. I had noticed the signs long before. The late nights, the rushed showers, the way her phone never left her side, even in her sleep. So when the message arrived, I didn't break. I smiled because now I had confirmation and, more importantly, I had control over how her little performance would end. I let my eyes wander across the quiet living room, the framed wedding photos, the candles she'd lit that morning, the goodbye kiss she'd given me without truly looking at me. Her scent still clung to the pillow beside me, mixed with an emptiness that felt like someone who had already emotionally packed and left. Slowly, intentionally, I typed my reply. "No problem. Tell Jake I said. Thanks. She's all yours now." I pressed send and set the phone aside. I didn't need to see her reaction. I already knew what would follow. The part of her that thrived on admiration, on control, on feeling irreplaceable, wouldn't know how to process someone who simply stopped caring. And that's exactly what I wanted her to feel. Not rage, not jealousy, but complete irrelevance. Moments later, my phone lit up nonstop. Call after call, message after message, her name flashing again and again. I ignored them all, muted the sound, and let the silence swallow her panic. Somewhere between her lies and her ego, she had forgotten what it felt like to truly lose. When I finally checked, there were 16 missed calls and a wave of messages. "It's not what you think. Please answer." I didn't mean it like that. Every word more desperate than the last. The same woman who had texted me with confidence an hour ago now sounded terrified. But I wasn't finished, not even close. I opened our shared banking app and transferred half of our joint savings into my personal account. Money I had quietly protected for years, just in case forever, turned into temporary. Then I walked into the bedroom and carefully folded her clothes into boxes. No yelling, no destruction, just calm, methodical silence. The same silence she had left me drowning in for months. When I finished, I placed her wedding ring on top of the boxes, the one she had stopped wearing on weekends. An hour later, her car screeched into the driveway. The door flew open. "Please," she gasped, rushing toward me, eyes wide, hair messy, still in the outfit she had left in. "It's not like that. It's really not." Her words died the instant she saw the boxes, the ring, my stillness. I looked at her calmly. "I know," I said. "That's the problem. It is exactly like that." Her voice cracked as she reached for my hand, but I stepped away. "Jake means nothing," she cried. "It was just a stupid mistake." I met her gaze steadily. "No. A mistake is tripping on a step. This was a choice." She collapsed to her knees, sobbing, repeating my name as if it could undo everything. But there was no power left in her voice. No charm, no spell. Not anymore. I moved toward the door, paused, and glanced back at her, shaking and broken, clinging to the life she had thrown away so carelessly. "You texted me," I said quietly. "I'm with Jake tonight. You just didn't realize that would be the last message you ever sent as my wife." And then I walked out. No dramatic speech. No revenge scene. Just silence, the kind that echoes louder than fury ever could. The next morning, she tried calling again. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Her games, her flirting, her excuses. Her life had ended exactly how it was meant to. And finally, she understood that the man she thought would always forgive her had chosen to walk away.